Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lorene HD, for a new video. Today is Mental Health Awareness Day, and it's a day dedicated to raising awareness, education, and advocacy against the social stigma attached to mental health. And so what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to go through a bit of a story time through the ups and downs that I've been going through with my mental health in the past few months. Obviously starting with the global pandemic, but also going through a breakup and becoming single again after years of monogamous relationship, but also becoming unemployed and having to figure out what my future looks like and how I want to organize it. So it was a lot at the same time, and I'm going to tell you all about it, what happened, what I did, and why I think what I did could work for you as well. But before we get into that, let me introduce you the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. BetterHelp has licensed therapists who are certified by their state's board to provide therapy and counseling. You can receive licensed counseling using your computer, tablet, mobile phone through video calls, phone calls, or text messaging. BetterHelp costs $65 to $85 per week, and financial aid is available for those who qualify. You can apply for financial aid during the sign-up process. BetterHelp has also group-in-our sessions where members can learn in group directly from licensed counselors on multiple topics like relationships and ways to overcome anxiety. BetterHelp is available worldwide. BetterHelp is not a crisis line though. So if you are in crisis, check the link in the video description for crisis resource. Back to us. So I just mentioned a few transitions that I've been through, and I'm gonna start diving into the job situation first. So it's been a few years since I've been wanting to put more focus and more priority on what I do for this community, what I do here on YouTube, on Instagram, stop treating it like the side hustle that it's been for the past 5 or 6 years. So at the end of last year, I decided to do my brand strategy job more on a freelance basis and be able to, like I said, give more time and effort to what I do in sexual health. So now in Germany, we have 3 months notice period, or at least my contract did. And my last day was supposed to be on March 31st. March 31st, 2020 equals 2 weeks into the lockdown, where everything was still very fresh. The economic impact of the pandemic was still very unclear. There was just a lot of uncertainty around, who is going to keep their job for how long. I mean, I don't have to describe it to you, like you were there. You weren't with me, but you were there. You went through it as well. And so it was a time full of toxic uncertainty, and I was feeling completely crazy to... Actually, let me revisit that language. Interesting. So even though in my heart, I knew that I wanted to prioritize my passion, my head was telling me, hello, wake up. This is not a time where you can do as you please. You have to kind of guarantee a certain security for yourself and be grateful that you have a job. Be grateful that you have not been put, on furlough or made redundant, or other situations that have happened to a lot of people around the world. So I renegotiated my contract, which I was very lucky and fortunate to be able to do that. I renegotiated my contract to have a part-time contract. So I was working 3 days, then I had 2 days to do any of my projects regarding sexual health. And on paper, it looked like, I was having the best of both worlds. But after a month or two, that decision backfired on me. And all the emotional work that I had been doing in these, 3 months of notice period of building excitement and anticipation for my new life and kind of like releasing feelings of my old life. Obviously, I had talked about it with friends around me, and it was just starting to become more and more real. And then I had to let that go. Mind you, this is going to sound like complete life in a bubble for a lot of people, because it's a privilege to be able to choose to leave security and to follow your passion. There are reasons that make me look at myself now and feel like, oh my gosh, you are such a brat and you're spoiled and all of that. But back then, this is what was happening. these were the feelings that I was dealing with. And long story short, I felt completely drained. I had no energy to do my day job, and I had no energy to do my sexual health stuff, which that was a first for me. That never happened before, ever. And if you actually look on my channel, you're gonna see that in June I had the third part of a video that I had shot in May, and then in July I didn't have a video, and in August finally I had a video. It was just like a time where I didn't feel creative. I was drained even though I wasn't doing anything. And that was very scary for me, because usually that doesn't happen. It can happen like a week or two, but then I kind of pick myself back up. And for it to happen at such a deep level and over a long period of time was the scariest part for me. So to add to this professional crisis comes a romantic crisis, because my ex-partner and I decided to part ways after 3.5 years. And I'm not gonna go through, why we broke up and such, but I guess the interesting thing, or the relevant thing here, is that this breakup brought a lot of alone time. And usually I really love and seek alone time, but then it just felt forced, not just because of the lockdown, but just because there was a lot of time that we would have typically spend together that I was spending on my own, and that made me feel lonely. And I was looking at everything, whether it was, content online, or like whenever I was going out to do my groceries, I was just seeing the world through this lens of, everyone is like well surrounded, and everyone is developing new skills and like making the most of this lockdown. And like, just saying this, I feel super ridiculous, but this is literally the information that my brain would feed me like every day. So just to recap, like I was feeling disconnected from my job. I was losing the familiarity and the comfort of a relationship. I was disappointed in myself, and I was, taking any opportunity to compare myself and see the flaws and see what was missing. I had energy to do practically nothing. But the thing that that I'm very grateful, that one thought that my brain fed me with, that I'm really grateful for, is that I didn't think I was the problem. I thought that there were things in my life that were the problems and that needed to go. But I was feeling very unequipped to deal with that, because, I had let go of my job, and then I had brought it back, and then I had let go of my partner, and like I was feeling like everything that I was doing was creating a mess, and that I didn't know how to fix it, and I didn't have the energy to fix it. And so that's when I decided to sign up for BetterHelp, especially because, after the whole lockdown and we couldn't do anything in person. So even if I had found a therapist here in Berlin where I live, it would have been online, and I just felt that it was easier to go through a platform, sign up. The sign up process was very easy, and I quite liked that I could really tailor who I wanted to work with in terms of gender, in terms of sexual orientation, in terms of speciality of the problem that I wanted to work on. Now, finding the right therapist is a little bit like finding the right partner. Just because, someone is trained and licensed therapist, it doesn't mean that you're gonna click with them. And indeed, I was paired with a therapist at first with whom I didn't really click. I didn't feel that they were helping me reframe my situation. I didn't feel that they were helping me get out of my inertia. And so about a month into it, I asked to change therapist, and that happened very seamlessly. I was paired with another therapist the same day. So there wasn't, these latent periods of time where you're just like waiting to hear back, or you have to altogether like go through Google, find another therapist. Like if I wasn't using BetterHelp, it would have been a lot more time consuming to find another therapist, but the platform took care of that for me. And then I was paired with another therapist who was like super, super, super helpful. asking me the right, sometimes hard, but the right questions. I was telling her the long-term goal that I wanted, and she was helping me identify the small steps that needed to happen so that I could get to where I wanted to go. And she was also making herself as the person who holds me accountable for actually accomplishing these steps. And that sort of drive, and to have someone to keep me accountable on working on myself, was really helpful. So with the help of my therapist, I actually, get ready for this, I actually quit my job again. And this time I was really convinced. I had put money on the side. And again, it's a big privilege to be able to leave your job in such a situation and to choose your passion over security, like financial security. But with the help of my therapist, I was able to get to that step in a way that didn't make me anxious, in a way that didn't make me second guess myself. And I am now unemployed, and I am now recording this video and putting my whole heart into it, because this is what I want to dedicate the next few months doing, just sort out what exactly this channel is going to look like moving forward. There is no clear takeaway from this video, or like little quick 5-bullet tricks that you can do at home to all of a sudden restore your mental health, because it's a lot more complex than that. But I think there is power in sharing our personal stories, our personal struggles. And yeah, I'm just really grateful for BetterHelp to have put me in touch with those therapists, and to have put in place the tools that allowed me to get back to feeling like myself. And so in September, I actually, interrupted the contract, which is another thing. It's not the type of therapy that you have necessarily to go into for years of your life. It's something that you can take advantage of sporadically as you feel the need for support for your mental health. But then when I felt better, I discussed it with my therapist, and I told her, like, I feel that, coming up to our sessions, I don't have anything to discuss, or like I'm looking for the problems that we could be discussing, and that doesn't really feel right. And she told me, yeah, indeed, we don't need to do that. So I paused my membership. Right now I'm not actively doing the 30-minute therapy sessions, but it is also something that could be resumed in the future, and I would be paired with the same therapist that I was working with before pausing my membership. So if you have any question on BetterHelp, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them if I have the answer from my personal experience. But all of this to say, yeah, we all have our ups and downs, whether we share them publicly or with friends, or even acknowledge them with ourselves. We all have them. There's nothing shameful about, like, again, I'll admit, making this video, I feel really kind of spoiled and a little bit ashamed that I'm telling you guys that I felt all these feelings for not having the luxury of quitting my financial security when I wanted to. But I think, to me, the point is, it's okay to, not feel like we always have control of what is going on in our lives. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to ask for help. Again, if you're considering using BetterHelp, you can use my link, which will give you 10% off of your first month. And if that is still too high, you can apply to get financial aid from BetterHelp. And if you qualify, you will obtain that. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.